Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's February 14th, and we are back. Sports Talk in the Mancave, Super Bowl from last week. We need to talk about that. And we also want to thank our winners and all our participants that participated in the giveaway that we had. Um, First of all, Carlos, thoughts on the Super Bowl, real quick.
I think the Tampa Bay defense really did a good job. I think not having those two tackles affected them. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but definitely would have helped them out having those two tackles because Patrick Mahomes had no time in there. They couldn't get anything going on offense. They didn't even score a touchdown for the first time in I don't know how long. So I think those two tackles made a difference.
I think they did. But you know what? Before we go on, I think one of us has a public apology written up or ready to go. Gilbert.
Yeah, I'm not ready to eat. I'll eat a little bit of crow, but not the whole batch. All right. Um, Here's the deal, guys. Okay, Mahomes never had a chance in this game. Never had a chance. Actually, the Chiefs lost four offensive linemen. I think the first guy that retired, he was a doctor, and they lost three during the season. So I mean, the guy never had a chance. Like Charlie said last week, it's a game of trenches. The Bucks offensive and defensive line dominated the entire game. There was no quarterback that could have been back there. No quarterback in generations, wherever. Even Tom Brady, if you switch the teams over, Tom Brady would not have even scored a single point if he was the quarterback of the Chiefs that day. So,
Wait, Gilbert. I didn't hear an apology. Can
well,
we
no, okay.
backtrack a little bit?
I'm gonna give Brady credit for his leadership, but he didn't do much. You know what I'm saying? That defense was on cruise control. They were really the MVP of the entire playoffs.
The defense.
The defense.
Yeah, the defense.
Okay, and then starting next year is going to be he's a 44-year-old. He's lost
Well,
it. He doesn't have it, and at the end of the year, it's like
just like
Mahomes didn't have
championship,
a chance
David, you
again.
should know by the Cowboys. Whenever you win a Super Bowl, you get stripped by free agency. They have Shaq Barrett. There's a free agent. They're gonna throw 20 million at that guy. 20 million at Goodwin, the receiver. There's a couple of guys there that are free agents that I mean they may lose. So I mean every year I think that the team that's the healthiest is really the team that won. The team that's luckiest, the most fortunate, is the team that wins every year. And you know what, Brady, he's the luckiest quarterback in the history of the NFL. I say it again. Look,
It's
one more
not
thing I want to say. Look, he won two Super Bowls by Vinatieri, right? Remember, there were drives also. Jim Kelly would have had two Super Bowls had he had Vinatieri. Or Jim Kelly. The Cowboys might have had a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott might have had a Super Bowl if he had a defense like Brady's, where all he had to do was stop the Packers on 4th and 17.
Carlos, did that sound like any apology to you, man?
not at all, and it's not all luck. There's no way it can be all luck. I mean, he puts them in those positions. Plus, his leadership has nothing to do with luck. Vinatieri made those kicks because he was scared of Tom Brady if he would have missed them. So that's Tom Brady. Give credit to Tom Brady.
That's right, man. Charlie,
Leadership.
what do you think, Charlie, on the Super Bowl? What were your thoughts?
Well, I think it worked out exactly how I had said. The defensive line was very good, and their offensive line was hurting. Mahomes got pressured like 25 times and rushed all of
They
these.
set a record, Chale, for most pressures in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I tell you, it was like 25 quarterback pressures.
29,
25 or 29?
around there. I don't know. Round it off. Round it off to 30.
But it was pretty many, and that's basically what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was a little bit of a boring game, but I mean, I did want Tom Brady to win it, so it actually worked out pretty good there. Huh?
Yeah.
but I did see like Gilbert wasn't talking apology, but I could see it in his face. He meant apology.
You saw
So
that?
he apologizes.
All right. Well, I don't know. I didn't hear it, man. I didn't hear it, but that's okay. I think he does agree with us that Tom Brady is probably the greatest of all time now.
Top five.
What?
Top five. Top five. Yeah, right. Okay, man. We'll see. Let's do a quick thank you to our participants. That was very nice. I was going through the list after the game, and I thought nobody was gonna hit it. And I think the last person that put their score and the team was the one that won it, and that was Dora. Is that correct? Was that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doralicia Mora.
Yeah, so Dora Mora, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dora. I appreciate it, and that was good, and it wasn't bad. I mean, some people picked 40 as the number, but they picked the wrong team.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. And let's talk about next year. It's maybe a little too early, but it's football, man. So we got to talk football here. What is your prediction for next year, Carlos? Let's start with you.
I'm AFC. I'm still going with the Chiefs. And NFC, I'm looking at the Packers. Depending on the offseason moves, of course, everything could change on the offseason pickups and all this stuff. The Packers, or I'm still going with the Seahawks again. I think the Seahawks are a couple pieces away, depending on what happens.
Good, Gilbert.
Yeah, I mean the Kansas City, all they need to do is get healthy, and I'm sure they're gonna learn from the Super Bowl and get some depth behind the line so they can be better prepared when contingency plan whenever things like this happen. So Casey has. I mean, like I said, Mahomes is special. I mean, I think he had 2 touchdown passes where he hit the guys in the face. I mean, there was nothing more he could do. He was Superman out there. In the NFC, I know that we say this every year, but if the Cowboys can rebuild that offensive line, I mean, we got the talent, we got the free agents. I don't want to jinx
I was
them,
going to say the same thing.
but I don't want to jinx them, but we have the talent. It just depends on the most we make it free agency. We're the team every year in and year out. The Cowboys are the team that leaves the most money on the table. We never go out there like Tampa Bay was all in. They got in. They got Sue. They got they went all in. They got AB. They got they went all in. We've never gone all in. There's always been talent that we leave on the table, and guys are willing to play for the Cowboys. We just don't go out there and go for it all.
All right, Chale, what do you think?
I'm going to go also because I think that the Cowboys could do it if Dak stays healthy. The offensive line maybe get a couple of guys back, and but I think the Chiefs are probably the best team out there, and they're gonna probably end up getting healthy. So
Okay.
I'll take those 2 teams. But the Cowboys, I think, might even pick up J.J. Watt on the defensive line or pick up a safety here or there.
God, yeah, I can't believe you all. Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Why
are.
do y'all do this to yourselves?
So, okay.
They're my team, man. And the Spurs are going to win it all.
Ching out, Chale. Now you ruined it.
You're discredited.
Did you watch them play the other night? Did you watch them play?
No.
They had a 40-point lead. They sat
I stopped. I don't watch the Disney Channel.
Isn't that in Los Angeles? I think Disney's in Los Angeles.
That's prime time. Hey, David, what were you going to say, David? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Okay. Well, first of all, I think Kansas City is not going to make it back to the Super Bowl. I think you figure out how to play that team, they're going to struggle a little bit, even though Mahomes is great. And, a lot of, they're going to have more injuries. They're playing a lot of games, right? Got to the Super Bowl twice in a row. It's going to be hard to get there again. I'm trying to think, what was a team that Bills? Let's go with the Bills. Let's do the Bills. I think they might be okay for next year. And then I'm actually going to go with the Cowboys.
Hey, you're really going to do that to yourself because I did it to myself.
I'm going to do it to myself, man. I think the Cowboys can do it. And
I hope you all are right.
I'm going to base myself on change of the defensive coach and with Dak being back and not being fumblers, so
yeah,
those 2 things happen. And if
what about our defense? Like, you think one coach is going to change it in 1 year?
Yes, I think so. I think
no.
You have to remember when they first started with Troy Aikman, they went 1-15, and then they won a Super Bowl.
How long after?
A year?
They went the third year.
Third year?
Third year?
They won. They won 1, then they won 7, and then they won 13.
Yeah.
According to that, like next year we're gonna run about 7-8 games.
No, we already had that, so we're gonna move up.
What did we win this year?
Games.
How many
6
did we win this year?
7, 9,
7?
5, 6.
No, no.
5, 6, 7.
7? I don't know.
Yeah,
Seven,
I
nine.
didn't really keep track this year. I wasn't counting.
Yeah.
That's the kind of year it was. But next year they're going to the Super Bowl. Come
But
on.
next year is going to be Super Bowl. They have a chance.
Well, I mean,
Their
yeah, they
defense
were
actually got
decimated by
better at the end.
injuries. They invested money and they got with Gerald McCoy from Tampa. They got a couple of tackles. They went out right away. Their safety, their cornerbacks. The whole entire offensive line. I mean, those guys. Dak. I mean, nobody got hit harder than they did.
We couldn't even win the NFC East.
That's
Yeah.
right. Because it was a very hard division.
I hope next year's different, but I don't
Yeah.
see the Cowboys going. I don't see any NFC East team being successful in the playoffs.
It's going to be tough. But
We'll save this video.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to replay this video next year, and we're going to be like,
Yeah.
we told you. And the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. They will.
Oh, they'll beat the Bills.
They'll beat the Bills. So that's
Again.
history repeats itself. It'll be fun. So what's coming up, Chala? Tell me about your Spurs, man, because you love talking about the Spurs and nobody else does, but you do.
No,
So
yeah.
tell me about
They're
it.
gonna play tonight, but they had a game. They played really, really good. Probably the best I've seen them play all year. They built a 40-point lead, so they sat everybody down in the fourth. They didn't even have to play the fourth. No starter had to play, not even 30 minutes. I mean, they were all in the 20s, doing really good, while the Lakers were struggling and going overtime with crappy teams and things like that.
Wow.
At the end of the season, nobody looks at those games. Nobody says, "Oh, this one's in overtime." It's either a W or an L.
The game's over, and I'm still saying about it. So it's maybe not.
It's because you're obsessed with the Lakers. That's why.
With the Lakers.
Yeah.
NBA regular season games don't mean much, to be honest.
Well, those are what get you to the playoffs.
Oh, of course.
I could lose them all, and then it doesn't mean much. But if I win enough to get me in the playoffs, it does mean.
Thank you for clarifying that. But they don't mean much, Dad.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about the flopping, the LeBron flopping that went viral about it? He got
No big deal, man. It happens all the time, and he does it. It's not the first time he ever does it. It's not the first time anybody does.
But do you think he was targeted?
What do you mean?
I mean, Harden does it every play. Every offensive play, he flops.
Well, but Harden's not LeBron James. LeBron James, people hate him so much. Like anything he does is going to be a big deal. So yes, he was targeted because he's LeBron James. Right. And it's the ref's fault for rewarding it. Because if they reward it, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's a lot of calls. They don't call on him. So it gets kind of like he has to really sell it because he gets fouled in almost every play he goes into the paint.
But he's so big.
A couple of years ago, Harden, he was made fun of so much. I mean, even other guys that would bump into him would flop just exactly the way he would flop. And
he's the king. Harden is the king. And when he's on offense, he knows how to hook your arm. He'll hook your own arm, and then he'll flinch back, and they'll call false on that. I mean, he's a master at flopping.
Yeah, LeBron takes too much flack for it when everybody does it.
Yeah, LeBron.
I think he does. He's the most dramatic.
Somebody gets close enough to him to flop. I mean,
he's probably the worst at it. That's why.
Yeah, he's bad at it, man. I didn't see this last one because my phone wouldn't play it. But it's like every time I've seen him flop, it's like the guy's not even close to him, and he's like jumping back and trying to fall, and he's a bad actor.
This one was probably the worst.
He's a bad actor.
He touched the guy in the back, I think, and then somebody touches him on the back barely, and he's like, the ref called him.
Yeah, I saw that. So who else is looking forward to Space Jam 2?
No, not me, man. But that's okay.
I don't know.
Does he flop in that one also?
Probably.
I don't think so. I think Bugs flops.
The guy can play basketball.
That's funny.
At 37 or 37 years old, he's still playing at the top of the game. Still could be considered the best playing right now. I mean,
LeBron?
You've never seen
that.
Yes. LeBron, he's 37 already?
Jeez, yeah.
Man, he was just in high school. 20 years.
David, you have to start watching. Start watching. When he wants to take over, he takes over. You can't stop him from driving. He he just don't put him on the free throw line. You could put him 5 feet beyond the arc and he'll hit, but you don't put him on the free throw line.
Yeah, it's it, man. But it's gone by really fast, man. His time in the NBA, it's crazy.
Well, you might not have a chance any other choice, Dave, but to watch because there's no sports on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is just like the main focus. So maybe by accident, you'll flip something on and you'll watch a game when
I'll watch a little. Well, I'm gonna watch some March Madness stuff.
Yeah.
So I saw some last year. I don't usually follow it, but you know what? It was really good last year. I saw the women, saw the guys, and they're both very, very good.
Was he last year or the year before? I think they canceled it last year.
No, last year was on. No,
It was?
no,
Okay.
it was the year before, right?
Year before.
That's right, because this last
Yeah.
year we kind of like, oh yeah, it was a mess.
Pandemic.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that year went by fast too. Shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I think. You think the Nets and the Lakers are both going to meet each other in the finals? Is that what it's going to be this year? I think so.
It seems like there's a collision course for both of them. I mean, I think there's one or two more moves the Nets are going to do. I think whether the buyout or with a trade, I don't know if they have any more assets to trade, and they got rid of all their picks for Harden, and they got rid of all their spare players for Harden. So I think that they're waiting for the buyout, and there's usually like good players that can kind of help you go over the top during that buyout.
I think what they have is over the top already.
Well, it is, but if you're watching the games, sometimes it seems as if they can't find themselves. And I mean, you have Harden barely scoring in one game, and then Irving barely scoring at the same game. It's not, sometimes it seems to be working very well, but at times it doesn't. They still have to get it together.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're
when
going
they
to be.
struggle. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. I just hate when there's three stars that need the ball on one team. I think at the most you can have two of those guys, but even like Harden and Westbrook, I never thought that was going to work out, and I don't think this is going to work out because Harden and Kyrie dribble the ball way too much, and Durant hates not getting shots. So if that ever happens where he doesn't get shots, it's going to be a drama.
Yeah, in playoff basketball, the game slows down a little bit, so the touches are going to be kind of like right now it's regular season, so they can kind of sacrifice a little bit. But when playoff time comes, I mean, they all have their three egos right there, three egos. So the ball movements might stop a little bit with the over dribbling, and also I'm concerned about the rebounding. I mean, they don't have much rebounding in there. I think they have Durant playing the four, so I mean he's a little bit skinny. So I mean I think that they need to make a move to kind of masquerade that weakness they have.
Be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But Lakers, this would be their what title do they win this one? 20th?
I think 18th.
18th already? Damn.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they usually win them in bunches, Dave. If you look at the history of the Lakers, they win them in bunches.
Yeah.
2-peat, 3-peat. When Magic Johnson was there and Kobe and Shaq, and then Kobe and Gasol. Now LeBron and AD. I think
if LeBron wants to win a few there, he does want to win a few, because if not, it's just going to be like a one thing and that's it, and nobody's going to care.
Yeah, and you have to remember, more than about half of the Lakers championships came when there was only like 5 teams in the league. So
yeah.
No, I don't think so. No.
It was only
I've heard that argument
with the Globetrotters and
I think Magic on his own of the 80s has 5. I think that's the same amount as the whole Spurs entire organization. So that can't be true.
Wow, yeah, because the Spurs started in 1960 and the Lakers started in 1900.
No, I'm talking about the 80s, Charlie. The 80s. I'm talking about the 80s.
The basket, the ball wouldn't even come out through the basket. It was just a real.
No.
It was a guy
It's a real basket.
Dave, mute him.
It's all good, man. There's a little controversy and a little feistiness in Charlie there. You bad.
You need to get that mute button for Charlie because he's just talking all his nonsense.
That's right. Just raise your hand if you have a question, sir. All right, man. Sounds good. Well, it was a good NFL season. Let's hope the NBA season's a great one. Also, we'll talk about some. I'll probably watch a few games and definitely talk about some NBA coming up. Carlos, anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Nope. Yesterday was some good fights.
Go over that last fight, the way the boxer came, he came back after the first round. That was awesome.
Yes, we watched some good fights. It was UFC 258 with Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, and it was a good fight. Gilbert Burns was winning that first round. I thought he was going to knock out Usman, and then Usman's coaches did a good job and told him to start working behind his jab, and then he just jabbed him, and the whole second round and I think third round he knocked him out. Even with a jab, he knocked him down. Like, it was good.
Wow. And it's Valentine's Day. It's snowing outside for the first time in a few years, I think. It's been a while. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Guys, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
My heart wasn't that nice.
Yeah. You want to talk about our Valentine's Day calendar that we have coming out?
I don't...
No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect, man. I love it. All right, guys. Take care.
All right, guys.